is poppin', everybody? Happy Friday! It is episode 73 of For No Particular Reason with your host, Kerri with the mostest, Lewis, and Yanko Yankov. And I just ate a very sugary donut, so I'm all hyped up and ready to be here. What's poppin' with you there, Yanko?
Kind of the same. Just excited to be here and excited to see where the show's going to take us. It's Friday. It's end of the week. So here we are.
I know. I should
Uh,
text Nana and be like, babe, if it's dead at work, you should jump on because my boy, I'm so proud of him. He just be hustling hard and in a good way. Like he shows up as love, but he's so driven. And he was like, I need to get to this number, and he did it. And I'm just so proud of him.
oh, wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so yeah, where's this? On Wednesday, Justin and I were talking, and we had this whole conversation, and I really wanted to talk about this resistance energy that I've been coming up against. But now I'm just in a joy-filled mood, so I'm like, who wants to bring up the past?
Exactly. After having so many donuts before the show.
It's a great donut. Just saying, shout out to Nana for that. Which, like, he never like it's rare that he gets donuts, and so I was very grateful, especially after the workout he put me through because it was his workout today, and I always give him sass at the gym because of it.
Okay. Well, usually, does he usually get to eat donuts to be able to stay in the shape he is,
That
or?
man can eat donuts, fried dough, anything. People think that he has like some strict diet. Absolutely not. In fact, he could crush 8 Texas Roadhouse buns in a sitting and not think twice. And I swear, and this is where me and my 45-year-old woman who had 2 kids body versus Nana who is like, damn, dude, because it's like he gains another ab and I gain 10 pounds. It's crazy. But you know what? It is what it is. And at this point, it's so interesting. My daughter said to me yesterday, she's like, Mom, the expectation that they have on women for how they need to look and how they need to present is just insane. Right. And it is true. I'm sorry. Like a man can have a bear gut hanging over his belt, his butt cracks hanging out, and somehow that's acceptable. But if you gain 5 pounds as a woman, you're letting yourself go. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, it's different perspective.
It is.
I as a man has different perspective on men. There's also men that struggle with their figure and their eating habits and wanting to look a certain way because society and expectations and how things should be and shouldn't be, and everyone, well, not everyone, but most people want to live in this made up world where they exist in their head.
Well, we all exist. It's interesting you say that because I was watching Deepak Chopra talk about how even words are a form of
Mhm,
imagination. The
mhm.
very idea of trying to put into language what is like knowable is an imagination because unless you've had direct experience, it's your perception, right? That's why it's so funny. I'm gonna keep it real. Like I can look at my donut and I'm like, thank you so much for having healing properties that take care of my body and make me feel good, because ultimately it gets to be my perception of the donut, right? And I had this conversation with somebody I don't even know how long ago, and that his father has like type 2 diabetes, like hypertension, high blood pressure, hasn't changed his diet, hasn't changed his behaviors, but he doesn't believe that what he takes in is detrimental to him. So the man's like 80 years old, doing fine. Like he's labeled as having all these issues, but he's still living his best life. So I'm like, it is all about our perception of the thing that makes it the experience we have.
Right. So I'm not gonna go and pretend that I know everything because I don't.
I
Um,
just
and
we
I,
don't
I
know.
I don't know what's good and what's bad for a person, or if like putting intention on your food will transform the food or not transform the food, or how things work out for different people. Because all we can do is, do those games on our brain to figure things out, and and have some kind of idea of what we think it's true or not, because like we don't know. Because
Yep.
a couple of years back they were thinking that things that happen to the body, it's genetics, and then fast forward, now there's epigenetics, and there's other things involved, and bottom line is, like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm thinking, maybe you have the body you have because you had to have the body you have because you choose your parents, or you decided to have this type of body that's mixed between two other people that you decide to have, so that there's certain kind of properties to that body, so that you can have the experiences you want to have. You know what I mean? So why struggle to be somebody else where you can be yourself?
Well, yeah, and go with the flow. And that's the thing, is that even me trying to put into a concept what it is that I understand limits me. So
Mm,
I really am like just open to whatever the experience is, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And that's where I
yeah,
experience a lot of joy and freedom.
yeah. Again, we don't know. So that's why I'm standing with that. I don't try to figure this out. If it brings you joy, do it. Who knows? You can't predict the future. You don't know what's going to happen in 10 minutes from now or 1 minute from now. So, you know, do you, whatever makes you happy. That's why I was laughing earlier when you were eating the donut.
Oh my god, the donut was great. Well,
Yeah.
it's so interesting. So yesterday I was at my aunt's funeral and I was in a church that is been known to be very, like, from my perspective, there's a lot of dogma within the narrative of this particular church. So I went in with a skull shirt on at a funeral, and my brother-in-law jokingly looks at me. He's like, "You are absolutely totally burning in hell." So I'm like, yeah, that may be true. Who knows? But then I'm like, I actually channeled the inner Yanko, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play along with this character for a little bit. I'm gonna like go along. I'll get up and get sit down when directed or whatever, and then
Be part of the game.
I did until, and I know this was my ego, but I didn't even care until the scripture being read was, and the woman served God by fearing him. And I said, oh, well, fuck this shit. I'm done playing this game. So I stopped. And everybody was looking at me because I'm like, there is no way. I just sat there and I'm like, okay, I'm here to be, I'm here to be for my family. My great aunt died. She's a beautiful soul, whatever. But like, yeah, this is no fun anymore. I'd rather be the person going to hell in the skull shirt. And my daughter was appalled because I was in that same church, however many years ago, maybe 15 years ago, at a wedding. And I painted my toenails while my aunt was getting married. And I was like, this is just as good a time as any to paint my toenails. And it brought me joy, Yanko, and so I did it.
I, it's mostly expectations, I think, because people are expected to behave a certain way, and if you don't, then that'll piss them off and make them mad. Um,
Yeah, I generally don't. But
but let's circle back on what you were talking about, like the hell kind of thing. What is your belief system on that? Do you think there is hell or heaven, or how do you go about that? Since you opened that can of worms.
so if I were to tell you my understanding, I think that we create our own hell or heaven in any given moment, right? Our perspective frees us or traps us. We are either in flow or we work to control, and the control creates that separation from love, i.e., division. And then that to me is suffering, right? This need to understand and control. And then heaven to me, like bliss, is just this surrender into what is unfolding without creating a narrative or a story or trying to understand it. Have
Mm,
I ever shared with you my prayer? I think I have.
mm. I can recall.
Okay, so I'll tell you, I will share my prayer, and it speaks to not understanding. So I took a prayer, I think it's Catholic, but I don't know. So all you Catholics, I'm sorry, not really, but and it says, love, creator of the infinite, with reverence, gratitude, and appreciation, I call unto your name. Thy kingdom come. Unconditional love will pour from this unique strain of consciousness into the collective consciousness as you pour unconditional love into the infinite. Give me this day freedom from my lower self, connection with all, and guide me home during moments of separation. Lead me away from the need to compare, control, judge, or understand anything, and deliver me from ego so that I may be a true expression of unconditional love in human form as exists within the infinite. Right? That's my prayer. I say it every day, I say it often. The reason is hell to me is my thinking mind needing to make up a story or control a situation. That to me is hell. And I experience heaven or peace on earth um when I just exist and I don't try to control anything. I just allow the things to unfold the way they do.
Hmm. No, I was just thinking of like afterlife kind of thing, and yeah, thanks for bringing that comment from our friend Gail. But yeah, there's no good or bad, or it's just energy and everything else is concepts. But I've seen it in people thinking that the planning mind, the same way you plan on where you gonna be here from in 10 years or 5 years, or where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Yeah, you know what I mean? Or when you die, where would you go? Or would you rather like you know plan to go in heaven or hell? Or and this is why I was like, yeah, this is kind of interesting. Let me ask.
I mean, and that's the thing is we've had this conversation before, and Gail, if you're free, feel free to join the show. But right, Gail is tapped into dragon energy, right? She really connects with that. And I've had this conversation with both you and her, and that doesn't resonate with me. Like that doesn't this right, and it truly is our own like experience. Like so I don't know what another individual would define hell. I just know that I sit in suffering when I try to compare, control, judge, or understand anything. As soon as I'm in that, guess what? I'm in my thinking mind and I'm out of the present moment. the present moment is peace. It's unconditional love. I have come to learn that experientially. And that's the thing I was listening to Deepak earlier say. And I encourage, the people that I connect with about this, that you can read any book you want, you can listen to any show you want, you can connect with all these individuals, but until you practice and experience things for yourself, it's just a concept. You have no true understanding. You do not know. And so, and once you do have that experience, and again, I have not connected directly with source, guys. So this is just me surmising this. Um, it's all a concept anyway. It's all an imagination. It's all what you just assume.
Well, I think it's me because our thinking mind. Well, here she is.
Your hair got long.
It's getting
There you
there.
go.
I feel like
Welcome,
it's
welcome.
straighter than it was before you went through chemo. Am I
It's
wrong?
not frizzy. It's still curly. This is flat iron, but there's no frizz to it anymore.
Huh.
So I'll let it curl, and it's really adorable and it's fun to play with. So I told the universe, I don't give a crap what you give me for hair. Give it to me. I will deal with it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to appreciate it, right? And FYI, clean bill of health this week, in excellent shape, better shape than I was beforehand because I work with my cells. I work with my body. And yes, dragon energy. They're just elementals. They're like
Well,
angels. They're like it's just energy.
well, that's the thing. Everything's energy, and
Yeah.
it's what you construct from that energy. You know what I mean? In fact,
Right.
I have a very healthy body, and I just had 2 donuts, and it was really great, and it truly made my cells happy.
Oh my God, I had lasagna the other day, and I thought in the past, if I had lasagna, I would put on like 10 pounds. Nothing.
Well, I'm glad you said that because we were just talking about Nana. And I mean, you've seen Nana, so you know. I mean, Nana can sit and eat a whole loaf of bread and gain an extra ab, like extra muscle. And I'm like,
Right.
but again, it truly is our own imagination, our own concepts within our own brains that gives us the experience that we are having.
It's that
So,
and permissions. You and I talk a lot about permission, and when I was going through chemo, I used body talk. And a lot of that is giving her permission to do whatever it is my body wants to do.
yeah,
And one of the things she did was she created a subroutine program in my head for my kidneys to regenerate to a healthier version.
yeah.
And so they're in better shape than they were before anything. They're
I
in
mean, that's a cool thing. Well, that's why I encourage people to give themselves permission to suspend what they think they know. Because that to me is the greatest gift I ever gave myself. I continue to give myself that all the time. I like I can make up a story about, oh, how's it going to be when Gail joins our show? And or I'd be like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen here. I suspend what I think I know and allow for things to just be what they are. And there's just such power in that. It's so beautiful.
there really is. There's a lot of strange things have been happening to me in the past 2 months now, and it's exponentially happening. Stranger and stranger things. And at one point, um, I was driving, and I looked to the side, and I literally saw the trees pixelate and create as I turned, because I turned my head really fast, and there was nothing, and then there were trees. Right? I'm like, "Huh, oh, that's interesting." And it was in the evening, and then I looked the other way, and I saw what I would say were 2 spaceships because they were going up, right? Side by side. I'm like, "Well, that's interesting." Right? Right? Um, did I see that? Here's the deal. Because of the dragons, I'm writing a book, chapter 20 is done. And at the beginning of the book, I explain that our eyes see 0.00035% of what is here. We have no clue what is really around us.
Well,
And our brain interprets what we see. So go ahead.
well, so think about this. There are insects who see ultraviolet. There are different species known like by the human understanding that feel vibration, and that's why again, our five senses are so limiting. Like I tell people, I don't trust any of my five senses. I trust this
Yep.
above any of this, because you could introduce me to Yanko. Yanko's the greatest guy ever, and my sense could be like, this man is straight up suspect, and I'm gonna listen to this over what you said about Yanko any given day. Although to the listening audience, I love Yanko very much. He's a very, very beautiful soul. But I'm just saying, but something you said about body talk, I want to bring up, because it kind of ties into what Justin and I and a group of individuals globally have been discussing. I reached out to them and I'm like, I feel so unbalanced. I feel so like there's no clear path at all. Nothing. Like I'm purposefully shedding
Yep.
connections that I have with people that just it doesn't bring me joy. But it's also like, whoa. There is really something to be said about Henry David Thoreau's like take the path not taken, because it's not taken, and you're like, also in body talks, a lot of emotion has been coming up. So my kids are like, Mom, are you okay? Like you're crying, like it looks like you just like I'm like, yeah, I have no idea why, but I just needed to do it. And so I'm just in this space of existing in unknown territory. And Justin and I were talking about how hard it is for the ego. Like my ego is like
I
fighting
had
me.
major fights with my ego this past month. I mean, literally, at one point, I was pushing ego back, like out of my way. You're preventing me from getting to unlock the codons that are waiting for me. So get off my path. And then on a road trip home, ego just wouldn't stop, and I finally had to look at ego and say, "Listen, I'm going to have to dance with you. I can't get you out of my way, so I'm going to dance with you, but I'm taking the lead. I'll listen, but because I couldn't push it out of the way anymore."
Well, I think what we resist persists, and I do
Yeah.
know that, right? So it's not that. It's interesting because the emotion's coming up and my ego is judging the emotion coming up, and I'm just like, well, it's just emotion coming up. And so it's just a very interesting time. And here's the thing. So many of the people who watch the show that follow me know I am connected to source. I've understood through experience, source through theology, but a lot of the people I connect with are into metaphysics and astrology and all this. So they're like Lionsgate and some type. I'm like, all I know is this shit is wonky.
Yes.
Like I said to
I
Nana,
don't have to understand why.
well, I said to Nana, I said the best way I can describe it is there's a point where I want to like throat punch somebody, then I cry, and then I'm really, really peaceful and bliss. And then all of a sudden I want to throat punch somebody again. I'm like, rage is coming up. And I'm just sitting here in this space, like, well, wow.
I
Wow.
just wrote down yesterday, like joy, anger, sadness, happiness, like everything that was just happening. I'm like, it's just all at once.
Yeah,
All at once. It's yeah.
yeah. And so, but it's a lot of people. So again, I reached out to this community that I'm connected with, Justin being one of them. And I'm like, I am just going to do a video and let all you guys know what I'm going through right now for no other reason than I also believe true intimacy. Yes, where energy, I know if I want, I can tap into Gail and she'll reach out to me at the, but I also know there is value in the human connection. And so I'm like, I just need to share this experience with other people so that I just get it out there, because our ego will make up a story in our mind saying you're the only one, which is total crap. It's total crap. And I'm like, and there's no way that anybody convinced me they have it all figured out. And so I have to put those words out there, because it kind of it takes the power away from my ego, honestly, because other people are like, oh yeah, we're going through the same thing, so it's not a big deal.
It is a big deal. It is a big deal. We are um, transforming, transmuting. We're changing every minute anyway, but it is exponential.
It is, but it isn't. Even that's ego. I think for me, and this is just me, this is just the experience I'm going through, and that's to what me and Yanko were talking about before you jumped on, heaven or hell. If I can just flow through this experience without labeling it a big deal, or right or wrong, or good or bad, and
It
just
just is.
sharing that experience, that to me brings me
Mhm.
back to peace. And again, because I know that when I'm in peace and love, I'm powerful. That's just my way of releasing that push pull, that resistance I get between ego and whatever I'm going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this morning I was talking about there's a difference between um, conflict and contrast.
I love that. That's a beautiful yes.
Yes, and I think a lot of times when there's contrast, ego has to make it conflict. And we don't have to. You and I often, Carrie, look at things from a different perspective, and we're both right. Period. End of story. There's just a contrast, and if there's contrast, that's the universal law of polarity. There has to be contrast. This world is contrast. It's constructed by contrast. So, as the human experience, if we can look at it, whatever comes up, as just being here on the polarity, now it's over here on the polarity, now it's over there on the polarity, but still on the same polarity,
Yeah.
just on a different end of it, right? Then we can slide up and down the polarity quickly.
Yeah, and I think it's important not to make up the stories about it, though. That's where
Mhm.
I think we trap ourselves unintentionally. We're making up a story about whether this is good or bad, right or wrong. And I do it all the time. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was sharing with Yanko earlier, I love Nana's in my relationship because Nana is such a light that he's like, he pulls me out of my storytelling to
Yeah.
myself, right? Like
Mhm.
this analytical, right or wrong, good, bad. Is this where I need to be? Whatever. By just being a goofball, like just by being himself, it's like, oh yeah, it's actually this. It's stupid, ridiculous,
It's
and
insane.
I'm making it a big thing.
Yes, trying to understand it,
Yep.
trying to attach a story to it, trying to find a reason when I was 7, when I was 8, my parents did this, or, he's a narcissist, she's, controlling. All of that is deflecting from the now,
100%.
right? And the second we deflect from the now, we create resistance, and resistance, is futile, right?
And it causes suffering, which
It
is
causes suffering,
my idea of hell. Like
right?
suffering is hell.
That's it. That's it. So to go through, you know, um, so many times when people, I don't advertise anymore that, I went through the cancer journey. Oh my goodness. Like, even going through it, I wasn't feeling, oh my goodness. So back off. That's your story. Right. Right. It was just a journey I had to go on, and I went through it, and I leaned into every moment. Right? Leaned into the crappy part of it, and I leaned into the lessons and the glorious part of it, right? And there was a lot of glory. There was a lot of crap, but there was a lot of glory too.
Well, because they're making stories in their heads. That's all it
Right.
is. Like they wanna make up a story, and I think by making the story, then they also want to be able to relate because some of them forget how to relate to other people. So like,
Mhm.
oh, let me show that I'm feeling, sorry for you or some kind of emotion because they don't even know where you're at. So sometimes if I'm in the presence of somebody, I can make up a story. Like, of course, the mind's gonna want to make up a story and say, well, this and that, and but I don't know. I'm not in their body. I don't know what they're
It's a
going through.
hundred
I don't know
percent
how
their
they
story.
feel. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
you know.
100% their story, and I understand that, right? That like there's no judgment on my part. There's just a realization that I didn't feel any of that stuff that you're trying to project on me, and so
Mm,
when I mirror it back because it doesn't fit in my realm, that means that they get their story right back in their face, and it's not something that they really want to see because they're seeing a lack, something missing within themselves that they're not ready to look at. So
I
it's
mean,
really,
everybody, yeah, everybody's thinking that they're missing something. I
well, we
mean,
all are. I'm not walking on
this
water
is
yet, are you?
this
Walk
is why
on water.
this is why people are like going in the pursuit of happiness the entire life, looking at this and that and the other thing or whatever.
And that's running away from the moment,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So I'm not in pursuit of happiness, of joy, of peace, of balance, or I'm not in pursuit of anything except being with me right now. And sometimes that the shit is hitting the fan, right? And sometimes it's glorious and sometimes it's just whatever. But it's just focusing on the now is probably the hardest thing, but it's the
Mm.
most constant thing. And I have to say, Kerri, thank you for your love, your persistence on love. Because of you, I absolutely check in with myself. Did I make that choice from love?
Oh, I always.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
thing is, ah, yeah, I have to ask myself because I know that fear is fear is still prevalent in my life. Yanko has shared with me that he doesn't feel fear at all. Must be fucking nice. I don't have that experience. Um, and so if I'm not 100% honest with myself at all times, I will absolutely make a choice from fear. And the problem with that is, guess what? That shit's coming back to me. I just put out into the world something that's coming back to me. I want to tell you guys a funny story. So the other day I get hit up from Google. This guy wants to meet for a coaching call, and intuitively I'm like, oh, this man is suspect, but I'm gonna jump on, right? I don't know what I'm meant to learn here, but I'm gonna jump on. So I get on, and this kid, and I'm like, so tell me. He's like, I have this breath work technique that I'd like to share with you, and I'd love for you to do it with me. I'm like, sure. He's like, you blow up your face, and I'm gonna do it because I think it's hilarious. Like the fact, and he's like, you go like this, right? And then you slowly blow out. And I'm like, oh, really? So go ahead, show me. So he's on his computer, and I'm like, oh, so what are you doing on the computer? And he knew right then. He was like, oh shit, I'm caught. Right. Cause I'm thinking like, because I'm perverted, right? Like I love sex. I'm like, oh, it looks like I'm giving somebody a blowjob. Like, right. So maybe you're trying to take a video of me. I don't know, whatever. So he jumps off. And I was like, wow, that was really hilarious. But I did send him a message, and I was like, I just want to thank you for your time. I hope you're good. And I want to give you this loving reminder that what you send out into the universe has to come back. That is a universal law. And so I'm choosing to send out love. I hope that that's what you do too. And to your point, Gil, I have to ask myself all the time because I could have easily like viewed that guy very differently than
Right. Gone down a rat hole.
as an opportunity to maybe share with him, hey, the choices you make will certainly have repercussions. And then I'm like, hey, if you want me to show up like with a blowfish face, I don't care. Me and Nana have done way worse than that on the Facebook.
Take a look at her pictures on Facebook. You'll see.
Yesterday I'm at the like after party of a funeral, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, now, Missy, no more Facebook porn. You know you gotta stop that. And I was like, you know you love it. There's no nip showing. You're good. I don't care. But Gail, this is, I'm curious to get both of you guys' perspectives. Right? I do things from love, but I also recognize that the things I do from love can be perceived as offensive to other people, right? I.e., me showing up with a skull yesterday at a church that is, really seeped in a lot of dogma. Or not wearing a bra. I mean, I thought about it. It's like, oh, I should wear a bra. I'm like, I shouldn't wear a bra. I haven't worn a bra in years. Why am I going to wear a bra because it's a
Do you even own one anymore?
I have one.
Okay.
Because there's certain dresses, guys, that look better when my boobs are pushed up. Sometimes they drop a little low and it's just not right. But anyway,
it's all about the cleavage, right?
I don't have any. I was always the itty bitty titty committee. I go to my daughter. I'm like, look, I say to Nana, I'm like, babe, I thought that having little boobs meant I wouldn't like succumb to gravity, but really, no, I have more skin, so now I can do this.
Oh.
But anyway, the whole point is, how do you reconcile, or if you do, the fact that it feels good for you and it's not harmful to you, but there will be people who view you as offensive, crass, or like harmful to them because of their own experience?
So Abe Lincoln said, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. Right? So, yeah.
Wait a minute, isn't that like a Rolling Stones song? Or
They may have made a song, but
Okay,
Abe was before
anyway.
them. Abe is old,
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
And so I cannot be responsible for how you receive or interpret anything. I have no idea what your experience has been up, your 40, 50, 60 years worth of experiences.
Yep.
You own your responses. I do not. If I'm coming from love and pure intention and you take it like shit, and I live in that situation right now.
Oh, I know, girl. I know.
Right? It's not my responsibility, and I no longer own it. I am curious and observe, but I don't walk on eggshells. I come as long as I'm coming from love. And talking about fear and joy, the end of this month, the house is going up for sale in about a week. I get in the car and I'm never returning, and I have no idea where I'm going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is going to be so cool and so scary. And I'll be coming by your way, Yanko. I'm going to upper state New York through Chicago to St. Paul,
Well,
down through Wyoming.
You
make
should
sure
go
we connect.
with Elena. Have you met Elena?
Give me
I'ma
her
put you guys
information.
in touch.
Yeah.
You guys will vibe hard. I love her so much.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've already got in upper state New York, a bunch of connections about ready to happen. These are people that I know that I'm going to actually touch and feel for the first time. Part of it is going to be, it's all going to be spiritual. It's all going to be spiritual. I know. I'm going to Devil's Mountain. That's what's in Wyoming. It's been calling to me. And it's going to be different. And I will be doing dragon card readings along the way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Yanko?
Wow.
I agree with Gail, but I'm curious what comes up for you when I ask, because I know that you show up as love, but you catch resistance.
Well, to me is that I always ask, where's this coming from? Like,
Yeah.
who wants to be, who wants to make this decision from love? You know, if there's like, oh, I gotta make this decision, or oh, I gotta be loving. Well, who has to be loving? Who is that that's, doing that? Because like anytime you get that, you're going into this thinking instead of, just being, because like you don't know. So I always ask myself when I'm situations where this comes up and there's got to be some kind of choice to make, because you don't have to make any choices. Life just happens. The same way your
So
mind
wait
keeps
a minute.
going.
I have to push back. I'm gonna because I do. You're telling me you never make choices.
Well, there's choices, but I don't claim them as my choices. Like I don't say, "Well, I made this decision," and then 2 weeks down the road, I say, "Well, that was a dumb decision to make," or "That was a great decision to make because I didn't make the decision. The decision just happened. There was something that happened, like happening." So it's a lot easier to digest and not be an ego like we're talking about earlier, because um you can eliminate it. The mind, it's always going to give you thoughts and stories and other things that are going to go on, and struggling with it, it's not a good idea, in my opinion. Is just that you accept that it's there and you watch it. So you can observe the thoughts. They're there, they're just coming up, so you don't have to do anything about it. They're just thoughts, they're coming up. I don't have to fight with them, I don't have to resist anything, because who is I? Like, who's resisting or who is making all those decisions? Does that
So
make
not
sense?
making a decision is a decision.
Right.
Just to let you know, we make choices every second of the day, right? You made a choice to come on to the show. You made a choice to collaborate with
Right.
Kerri, right? So we make choices every day. Those are decisions, right? Um, and frequently, I'll talk about a conversation I had in my mind one time. I was taking a walk, and a thought came, and I said, "Is that you, universe, or is that ego?" And I heard, "Does it matter?"
Doesn't matter.
Well, because ego is consciousness. Like that,
Right.
let's be clear, it is. And that
Hmm.
is very true. And I do get that. But I differ from Yanko's perspective in that, um, okay, if I'm in flow and I almost hit somebody or something happens, I can respond from a place of like, you're a motherfucker, which has happened many times. Or I can respond from, wow, thank you so much for keeping myself and this individual in a safe space of love. Right. That to me is I choose to respond in love as often as possible. Now, do I sometimes still pull out the ghetto Kerri girl? Yeah, damn right. I still, to this day, at 45 years old, can be scrappy street kid. But if in the moment of presence, I have an opportunity, I'm always choosing love. Like in awareness, not presence. I'm always present. When I am aware and I have like the of what I can lean into, I'm choosing love every single day because I also know that me turning around and going, "Oh, you motherfucker," is gonna later on come back and somebody's gonna bump me with their cart behind my leg accidentally, not accidentally, because I just sent out that energy, and that is truth.
That's truth.
That is truth.
That is absolutely truth. This past road trip that I went on, I literally envisioned, yes, the dragons protecting me on the road trip. And there were things that came up that could have gone badly, and it didn't at all, including, so this will be another story some other time, but things unfolded in a way that I was driving for 38 hours. because of where I was, where my GPS took me. I was like, "What is going why are you taking me this way?" I found myself in the evening driving on the streets of South Chicago. And like, "Yeah, I'm not stopping. I'm not getting out of the car. I'm not looking for a place to sleep. I'm just gonna keep on going till I get to the next interchange." The next interchange was the woods, the fields, if you will, of North Indiana. Anyway, no place to stop, no place at all. So I'm like, all right, I'll just keep on going. And when I finally hit civilization, I will get my hotel room. Well, that was 7 o'clock in the morning. So I just kept on going. And I was not tired. I was a little tired at one point. It was like I had slept the whole night. It was bizarre. And someday I'll tell you about the experience I had during that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
have people coming out of the woods with fire sticks
No,
and
that's when I saw the spaceships and a few other things were happening, and I had us, "Oh, is this what hallucinating is all about? Is hallucinating really hallucinating, or is it seeing what's really there?" So I had, lots of interesting conversations with myself.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, that happens. I had one of those the other day.
Yeah.
Interesting conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
so I was reading from the Upanishads. I never say it right. I don't know the Upanishads, whatever. It's part of like
Upanishads.
yeah. Um, and it said it had a beautiful quote, and that's like actually I think I posted it. Ultimately, we're with ourselves. Like energetically, we're with everybody else, but like our mind, it is our own experience. Like we're constantly having conversations with ourselves. We're constantly
Mhm.
creating worlds, realities within our own mind. And when you realize that all of it is illusion, none of it has power over you.
Right, because it doesn't matter. It's an
It
illusion.
it doesn't
It's a
matter.
movie. Go
It's
change
so
the real.
yes. And my kids look at me because I tell them, and they just, they're young and they're definitely still conditioned by schools and stuff, and they're just like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, mom. You sound totally crazy, and I'm like, and I love it. Just keep going with the crazy mom, And I looked at Billy the other day, and you know, she gave me that like eye roll look, and I'm like, one day, babe, you're gonna look back and be like,
My
oh,
mom
I
knew
miss
so
my
much.
mom's crazy.
Oh, I know. I know. It's okay. You'll come down and haunt her.
No, nah, no, I'll be too big. Listen, I even now, it's again, I laugh so often because I'm in this time, this space where I'm around parents who, oh my god, my kids driving, and my kids going off to school, and everything's changing. I'm like, everything has changed from the time they came out of my vagina until now. Like, why? I'm not tied to this experience. Like, in fact, quite frankly, I find it so much more enjoyable because I see our relationship blossoming into a friendship rather than this like me being this constant overseer of making sure. So I freaking love it. And my daughters are some of my greatest teachers. They really are. When we take out this experience that I'm older or more experienced or whatever, and we just have curious like minds and conversations, you open up worlds that you wouldn't have access to because I grew up in a different generation than my kids, and I don't know the language and stuff. So it's really a cool experience in my opinion to be watching my kids in this experience that they're having and still think that their mom is batshit crazy because they definitely do
Oh yeah.
in the
I'm
most
still I'm
loving
still
way.
the witch of the family. I'm the witch of the family. Um, I'm loving watching the young kids, and I'm saying like under 10, whose parents are enlightened enough not to squelch
Yeah.
their connection and their creativity, and the things that are coming out of their mouths are profound. Profound. If when more of those souls get an opportunity to blossom, this world, we ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, it's interesting because I live with a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old, and the the 8-year-old's pretty conditioned, right? Like this good, like it's fascinating to watch because then she has conversations with me and I blow her mind because it's a different perspective. But the 2-year-old, and this is where Yanko probably gets it. Me and him do the wildest stuff together because if he's like ducking his head in between his legs and doing this, I'll do it with him until I'm like, wow, my 45-year-old body isn't that flexible. But like, or he'll just all of a sudden go blah, blah, and I'll do it with him. This morning at like 6 a.m, he's flying around and we just start playing a game and I'm like, this is what it's about. This like unexpected yummy. It's like, I'm having so much fun. And it is so, so much fun. And again, kind of going back to why I just truly enjoy my connection with Nana is he's like the 2-year-old Aziel. He'll like walk in and just do something out of pocket for no reason. And I'm just like, thanks, babe, for the reminder that it's not serious at all.
Yes, yes, it's not serious at all. Cool your jets.
Yeah, it's not.
Right, right. I was in a meeting yesterday, and I was asked this question, and I really hate this question. What would you tell your younger self if you could?
Keep on being you, baby.
Right.
Nina,
So
don't change it. I wouldn't change a thing.
exactly, they get to me, and I said I would tell my younger self nothing because I wouldn't be who I am today if I changed anything. I have no idea where that trajectory would take me.
Yep.
If I had to say anything, it would be this too shall pass. That's it. That's it.
I thought about that too, and
Yeah.
I was just like, hold on to your jets, my man. It's gonna get
Just hang
interesting.
on, right?
Hang on,
Enjoy the
it's gonna get
ride.
interesting. Yes, that's what I
Like,
was thinking about.
it's true. It's so funny. So I'm at the wake and we're talking about because I had said this about women's like the expectation of women's bodies and stuff. And somebody had said to me, "Oh, your daughter should just embrace herself where she's at. That's the best she'll look ever." And I was like, I don't know who you're talking to, but I look goddamn good at 45 years old. I think I'm the bee's knees. And that's the thing is like at 12 to 16, like my perception of myself was horrible. So even if I had what society deems as this whatever ideal body, I didn't see it. So it never was true for me in the first place. Whereas now, boobs are sagging, I have a C-section line, my veins, I have varicose veins from working out so much. And I'm like, I think I look really good. And
I was
that's
gonna.
the thing.
I have a slightly different perspective. I think if you're okay with yourself, it doesn't matter how you look, because you're
That's
projecting that
true.
outward.
Yep.
Like you can be like the most disformed or morbid looking or whatever to other people, but when you're projecting it, the happiness with yourself because you're okay with yourself. Like there's
100%.
no like need to change anything. It doesn't really matter. So I can't be making to go back to what you're saying earlier, I can't be making a assumption in like Gail was saying, oh poor you, how are you, or this and that. This is like me, like you're okay, you're vibing, you're out there, you're like, you're okay with your body, you're okay with who you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I even see it with like um
Ram Dass,
singers
the
and
good
other
one.
people, and yeah,
Well,
I
think
mean,
about it. So I look at the soul, I look at people's eyes, but I mean, they exude it. But there is just certain people that like you're just drawn to. And I think about, I mean, Ram Dass could be named as somebody, Buddha, Yogananda, Paramahana, all these people, their energy was super attractive. And then some of the greatest sages out of India, they have missing teeth and they're wearing no
Mm-hmm.
clothes, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And you have thousands of people coming to kiss their feet, and it is an energy, and I will 100% agree with you. And yet I am still at a place where I like the way I look, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Kerri, I have never really been great at seeing people's physical body, right? There's a woman that I chat with every once in a while. She has a red streak that she dyes in her hair. And I said, if you didn't call that out because that's your signature, if someone said, could you describe Donna? I would be like, no. No, like I would be terrible as a witness,
That
right?
is
If
so
I sat
funny.
down with a sketch artist, I would talk about, well, they feel kind of like this, and right, I would be talking about energetically what I felt, not what I see.
Oh, I can do both. I am
Yeah.
definitely a visual. But again, think about it. In my coaching, what is one of the things that I use? Visuals, though.
Oh, my ears and
Yeah, you
my
do
eyes.
ears. I do visual. Well, because I truly believe like visuals were what saved my life unintentionally. Like having things tattooed onto me to remind me when I was so unconscious, right? And think about being unconscious, like, because you, all three of us, at some point, were not like where we're at. And it's just a nanosecond of consciousness that then expands into a second and then 2 seconds. But it was the visuals for me that reminded me to be present in that nanosecond, then that second, then that which expanded. So that is definitely where I come from. So I am very visual about that. And like, but I get what you're saying, because also once I like shifted my awareness energetically, you could be the most appealing to my eyes person in the world, and I wouldn't go near you with a 10-foot pole. And that's why when people tell me, they're like, oh my God, your boyfriend is gorgeous. He has a beautiful body. You must love it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. I'm not going to sit here and say I do not enjoy grabbing that peach because I love his ass. But if he didn't have a beautiful energy, I would not be attracted to him at all.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It really is so important for me to resonate. You know, I won't go to meetings because they don't resonate with me.
100%.
Why would I waste my time in some place that my body is telling me no, right? It just absolutely doesn't make sense. And that on the other hand, I will go to meetings where I might be the only one showing up because the host is phenomenal.
Yep.
We resonate tremendously and have ridiculous conversations, right?
Well, with that, it's 11. Yanko, you got anything to say to the listening audience?
Wrap her up, yeah.
Only because I have to pee. Otherwise, I could have this convo
We'll have to
forever.
grab a bite. I have a
Yanko
meeting at
knows
12, a
11
meeting at
o'clock
2.
comes. Even if we talk, I'm like, Yanko, I got to put you on pause. I got to go pee.
That's all right. I'm not gonna hold it up, so you can go. Let's wrap it up.
Thank you guys for having me popping in. This was
Oh,
fun.
you're
Oh,
welcome anytime.
anytime.
Just use
You
the
know
link.
how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Join us.
Bring your friends. Bring, what is it?
Yeah, let's
Fabian,
make it a
Yeah,
party.
Optimus.
see?
We'll
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, there you go. They're always coming.
All right, cool. I love you guys. I'm bouncing. I'll check you